Welcome back. We continue with the carbohydrate and here what are carbohydrates chemically? Carbohydrates are polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones. Polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones or substances that yield such compounds on hydrolysis. So many of them have the empirical formula CH2ON or CnH2ON. So they are carbohydrates, and as a substituent they may contain nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, etc. We will see that in detail later. So carbohydrates are polyhydroxy compounds. Polyhydroxy means what? Having a lot of hydroxyl groups. Two hydroxyl groups are there. Two hydroxyl groups. You see how many hydroxyl groups are there? That's why we say they are polyhydroxy compounds. And they are polyhydroxy aldehydes or ketones. Here what you see is an aldehyde group. Here what you see is a keto group. Accordingly, we call them aldoses. When there is an aldehyde group, we call them aldoses. And when there is a keto group, we call them ketoses. So they are polyhydroxy aldoses or ketoses. And based on the number of carbon also we classify them. For example, a triose is a sugar that contains 3 carbon atoms. Carbon number 1, number 2, number 3. Always we number the carbon atoms such that the carbon bearing the functional group is getting the minimum number. And here this is a keto triose. Tri means how many? 3. So carbon number 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. This is glucose. Glucose is an aldohexose. Why is it an aldohexose? It is an aldose because of this functional group, aldehyde group. It is a hexose because there are 6 carbon atoms. Carbon number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this glucose is an aldohexose. While fructose, the sweetest naturally occurring sugar, fructose is a ketohexose. Why keto? Because of this keto group. Why hexose? Because of 6 carbon atoms. I think now it is clear to you. Glyceraldehyde is an aldotriose. Keep this compound in your mind. We'll come to that later. Dihydroxyacetone. You have heard of this compound in sugar metabolism in your higher secondary classes. So based on the size of the molecule, we may classify carbohydrates into 3 groups: monosaccharide, oligosaccharide, polysaccharide. Saccharides are actually carbohydrates. The word saccharide is derived from Greek saccharon, meaning sugar. Okay. There are 3 classes. Mono means how many? Only one unit is there. Oligo means how many? A few of the monomeric units are there. And poly means how many? So many monomeric units are there. So monosaccharides or simple sugars consist of a single polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketone. And the most abundant monosaccharide in the nature is glucose. It is also called dextrose. And monosaccharides have 2 to 8 carbon atoms. Glucose has 6 carbon atoms. You know that starch is made up of glucose. Cellulose also is made up of glucose. So we are much more concerned about monosaccharides. What is this? This is ribose. D-ribose. Why D? I will tell you later. D-ribose. Ribose is an aldopentose. Why is it an aldose? Aldehyde group. Why is it a pentose? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon atoms are there. And you have seen this ribose in RNA molecules. You have heard that RNA is a nucleic acid. In that nucleic acid, ribose sugar is the 5 carbon sugar. Its derivative is what you see here. This is 2-deoxyribose. 2-deoxy means what? Deoxy means an oxygen atom is removed. What is 2-deoxy? The oxygen atom removed is from carbon number 2. And how do we number the carbon atoms? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. From carbon number 2, which is carbon number 2? This is carbon number 2. From this carbon number 2, deoxy. Deoxy means oxygen removed. So if this oxygen is removed, what is remaining there? Only the 2 hydrogen atoms are remaining there. And we have it here. So this is deoxy, 2-deoxyribose. This is what you see in the DNA. The 5 carbon sugar of the deoxyribonucleic acid is actually deoxyribose. It is this molecule. What is the meaning of the term D? How do they differ from L? We will see that later. And how do we write the formula of this carbohydrate? There are many methods. There is the common ball and stick model. In our biochemistry laboratory, we have these ball and stick models. When you come for the actual class, I will show you how to make a ball and stick model of sugars, and as a project, you will do it before me. So you will learn it in detail. You have balls representing different atoms, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. are there. And you have plastic sticks, just like your refill. You have sticks which are representing the bonds. We join them together to prepare particular models. Ball and stick models are there. And this is a Fisher projection formula. When you write on a paper, Fisher projection formula is the best way of representing a molecule. Okay, here, and when you make a model in the laboratory, when you study the molecular structures in detail, the best way is to make a ball and stick model, so that we can study the relation between the angles and the bond length and the bond distance and atomic radius, etc. in detail. Okay, here there is a concept: D-glyceraldehyde, L-glyceraldehyde. How do they differ? Let us come to the basics. How many carbons are there in glyceraldehyde? 1, 2, 3. Okay, there are 3 carbons in glyceraldehyde. Of this, which is the asymmetric carbon? Now there is a new term, asymmetric carbon. A carbon is said to be asymmetric when it is bearing 4 different groups or atoms on the 4 different valencies. Here carbon number 1 is not asymmetric. Why? Because this CO is an aldehyde group. It is a double bond. When there is a double bond, this carbon is not asymmetric, it is symmetric. What about this CH2? You see, one carbon is bonded to 2 hydrogens and of course an OH group. The 4 valencies are not occupied by different groups because 2 of them are occupied by the same group, same atom, hydrogen. So this third carbon also is not asymmetric. Then which is asymmetric carbon? Carbon number 2 is asymmetric. Why? It is attached with 4 different groups. Which are those 4 different groups? Group number 1 is a CHO group. Group number 2 is an OH group. Group number 3 is a CH2OH group. Group number 4 is a hydrogen atom. So this carbon number 2 is attached with 4 different atoms or groups. Therefore, this carbon is an asymmetric carbon. This carbon is an asymmetric carbon. Now, what is the arrangement of the H and OH around this asymmetric carbon? It is represented in 2 ways in this Fisher projection formula. In first figure, this OH is towards our right side, our right hand side, While in the second figure, this OH is towards your left hand side. Is it clear to you? This OH is towards our right side. This OH is towards our left side of the carbon. Left side of the carbon. This is called D-glyceraldehyde. For our convenience, we call it D-glyceraldehyde. And when the OH group on the symmetric carbon is towards the left side of the carbon, we call it L-glyceraldehyde. Glyceraldehyde is the reference compound, and D and L glyceraldehyde is actually the reference way of showing whether a molecule is of the D conformation or of the L conformation. Now you come back to the previous molecule, previous slide. This is the previous slide. Why this is called D-ribose? Only D is given here. Okay, no problem. Which are the asymmetric carbons in this molecule? This is not asymmetric because of the double bond. This is not asymmetric because of the CH2. All the other carbons are asymmetric in nature. All the other carbons are asymmetric. Carbon number 2, 3 and 4 are asymmetric. Why are they asymmetric? You consider carbon number 2. This is the first group attached with it. This is the second group attached with it. The whole of the remaining is the third group attached, and this is the fourth group attached. So carbon number 2 is asymmetric. What about carbon number 3? That also is asymmetric. Carbon number 3 is asymmetric. Number 4 is asymmetric. Now, how do we identify whether a sugar is of D conformation or L conformation? You consider the last carbon away from the functional carbon. This is the functional carbon. Which is the farthest asymmetric carbon away from the functional carbon? It is this carbon number 4. This is actually closer to the asymmetric carbon. This is the farthest asymmetric carbon from the functional carbon. So this is the reference carbon. What about the arrangement of the H and OH? If the arrangement of the H and OH group on the asymmetric carbon farthest away from the functional carbon is like that of D-glyceraldehyde, then this is a D-ribose or D-deoxyribose. Why it is given here D-deoxyribose? Because this OH group on carbon number 4, which is the farthest carbon away from the functional carbon, is like that of the D-glyceraldehyde OH group towards your right side. Then this is D-deoxyribose, this is D-ribose. Okay. Then how will the L-ribose look like? This OH group should be towards the left side and this H should be towards the right side. You try to draw an L-ribose and L2-deoxyribose on your paper and you will understand. Don't worry, we will come to this topic again later. Okay. Why a mirror is placed here? Because sometimes the molecules are mirror images of each other. And this configuration is important in a functional point of view, and we will come to that later. And isomerism. What's an isomer? Or what's the phenomenon of isomerism? I think you have studied it in your previous years. Isomerism is a phenomenon in which two different molecules have the same molecular formula. Two different molecules means they have different structure, they have different physical properties, they have different chemical properties. That means entirely they are different compounds as far as structure and function is concerned, but they have the same molecular formula. Then we call them isomers. And isomerism is of different types. What you see here is actually stereoisomerism. What are stereoisomers? They are mirror images of each other. They are mirror images of each other. In the previous slide also we found stereoisomers. Ball and stick models show the actual configuration of the molecule. In Fisher projection formula, horizontal bonds project out of the plane of the paper towards the reader, while vertical bonds project behind the plane of the paper away from the reader. Okay. This is D-glyceraldehyde. You know why? OH towards the right side. This is L-glyceraldehyde because OH towards the left side. And now you have almost seen. This is the Fisher projection formula. Are they stereoisomers? They are, because it is clear from the mirror image. They look the same. Mirror image, they look the same. This structure is identical with its mirror image. Just like the palms of your right hand and left hand. You take a mirror, you keep your left palm on that mirror. The image you see in the mirror is exactly that of your right hand. Am I right or not? Do it today and tell me. It's a project for you. Okay. There is another way of representing sugars with a perspective formula. These are actually perspective formula. It is similar to the Fisher projection formula, but the assumption is that the bonds are shown in a wedge-shaped manner. Wedge-shaped manner, and we will come back to that one later. And previously I told you something called asymmetric carbon. In general, a molecule with n chiral centers can have 2 raised to n stereoisomer. What's a chiral center? Same as asymmetric carbon. Chiral center is the same as asymmetric carbon. A molecule with n number of chiral centers can have 2 raised to n stereoisomers. Look here. This is an aldotetros. Aldotetros means aldehyde group is there and 4 carbon atoms are there. Which are the chiral centers or asymmetric carbons? Carbon number 2 and 3. Carbon number 2 and 3. Why is it D-erythros? It is D-erythros because the asymmetric carbon farthest away from the functional carbon has the OH group towards your right side, towards the right side of the carbon. So it is D-erythros. And D-threose is another molecule having the same molecular formula. Then how do they differ from each other? They are stereoisomers. They are stereoisomers. Are both in the D form? Yes, because this OH is towards the right side. So this is not actually L-erythros. This is D-threose, a different molecule. And how do they differ? Carbon number 1 looks the same, but carbon number 2 looks different. Arrangement of OH on carbon number 2 is towards the right side in erythros. It is towards the left side in threose. That's how they differ from each other. So when the number of asymmetric carbon or chiral centers is 2, then the number of stereoisomers is equal to 2 raised to 2. 2 raised to 2. What is 2 raised to 2? 2 raised to 2 is equal to 2 multiplied with 2. It is equal to 4. But only 2 are given here. Where are the remaining 2? They are the L forms of the compound. D-erythros, D-threose. L-erythros, L-threose. That means of the total number of stereoisomers, half of them are in the D form and half of them are in the L form. Don't worry, we will come to this topic later. And so glyceraldehyde has only one asymmetric carbon, so number of stereoisomers is equal to 2, which are the D-glyceraldehyde and L-glyceraldehyde. If you take the case of an aldohexose, previously we found glucose, etc. Aldohexose. The chiral center or asymmetric carbon is equal to 4. So number of stereoisomers is equal to 2 raised to 4 is equal to 16. 2 times 2 times 2. 2 raised to 4 means what? 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. This is what you studied in your lower classes. So 2 times 4 is equal to 2 raised to 4 is equal to 16. Half of them are in the D form and half of them are in the L form. You see, look here, stereoisomers of monosaccharides can be divided into two groups that differ in configuration. About the chiral center most distant from the carbonyl carbon. That is what I told you just now. Those in which the configuration at this reference carbon is the same as that of D-glyceraldehyde are designated D-isomer, while those with the same configuration as L-glyceraldehyde are L-isomers. When the hydroxyl group on the reference carbon is on the right side in the projection formula, the sugar is the D-isomer. When on the left, it is the L-isomer. Of the 16 possible aldohexoses, 8 are the D forms and remaining 8 are the L forms. And in the living organisms, most of the isomers are in the D form. So clear to you?